Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the 5 biggest dating mistakes that most people make. I used to make them myself when I was dating, and these are mistakes that I know a lot of people make in my life, my clients. Basically everyone I know has made one of these mistakes at some point in their life. And I'm telling you these things because I don't want you to go through the same things. And if you are currently making these mistakes, maybe it can be like a breakthrough and a realization for you to stop making them and to have healthier relationships overall. All right, so let's get started. The first big mistake that most people make is they listen to a person's words instead of listening to their actions. There are so many cases, and it breaks my heart when I hear this. People coming to me and they tell me, no, Francesca, trust me, they do like me. They're not a good texter or they're really busy with work, but they do like me. They told me so. And I try to hold it in and not scream. Stop listening to what a person is saying, especially if you're in the beginning dating phase. People will tell you anything. They will tell you anything to seduce you, to get you in bed with them or whatever their intention is. They will tell you they like you a lot and they want to see you, and it's so inconvenient because they really want to see you, but they're so busy with work, whatever. Trust me. When someone likes you, I don't care what their job is. They can be the president, they can be an investment banker, whatever, that works until 2 a.m. They will still make time and effort to see you. They will still make time and effort to call you, to text you. You won't be wondering, do they like me or not, if someone truly likes you. I know people that are in positions where they're really challenged and they do actually spend a lot of time at work and they really are busy. But when they like someone, they still make effort to see that person. They compromise, they still text them, they still call them, they still see them. Even if it's late at night and they come after their job, they still make time to see that person. So with no exception, if a person is giving you excuses why they can't be with you even, like so many of my friends have this problem or have had this problem, or clients where they're like, yeah, they really want to be with me, the other person, but they just can't in this moment because they're either busy with work in this period of time, or they're not ready for a relationship, whatever. And then the exact same people get in another relationship a few months later. This has happened so many times. And if this has happened to you as well, you need to realize it's not about you. It's not because you are not good enough. This has happened to me before. This has happened to many of my friends, many of my clients. Everyone gets rejected. Everyone will not choose you, will choose someone else. But you need to realize that if a person is not showing that they like you, is not putting in effort, it just means they don't like you, and it doesn't have to be personal. You don't have to take it personally. I even know situations where, for instance, I know a guy that is in a really happy, healthy relationship right now, and he puts in a lot of effort into his girlfriend, and even if they have like conflicts and big fights, he still fights for her. He still puts in effort and tries to solve the issues and so on. But he told me he didn't do any of that for his last girlfriend, for the last relationship he was in. Whenever they would have fights, he would just be like, okay, fuck off. I don't want to do anything about it. Because he admitted he didn't really like her. So if you're not the right person for that other person, it's not personal. It's just because, I don't know, maybe they have certain preferences, because, I don't know, their mom was more dominant or more submissive, and that's the kind of person they go for. Or the other way around for girls, you know, maybe they lived in a toxic household where they would have conflict all the time, and you're less conflictual than her childhood trauma, so they will leave you for someone that is more like that. It's not personal. It's never personal. It's about them and their preferences. It doesn't say anything about you, and I really want you to get that into your head, okay? So if they're not showing, this is a conclusion of the first point, if they're not showing you through actions that they like you, and trust me, you will know, they will put in effort and you will know when they like you, then just move on. Move on, because there is someone out there that will like you and will put in effort, and you will be 100% sure that they like you. You won't be confused. Confusion is a red flag that they don't like you. When they like you, you know for sure. All right. The second big mistake that a lot of people make in their dating life, in their relationships, is that they go for emotionally unavailable people. So this is a pattern that a lot of people have. They go for people that don't like them, basically. Imagine, you know, you're in a position where you have two people that you're talking to, right? The first person is a really good person. Let's say you are a girl, right? The first guy is a really good guy. He treats you well, he gives you attention. And then the second guy is kind of like a bad boy, emotionally unavailable, doesn't really give you that much attention. If you have this abandonment trauma, if basically where it comes from is the fact that you don't feel good enough, so you go for emotionally unavailable people, you will go for the second guy that is not really putting in effort and is not showing you love and is unavailable, because you will feel more chemistry with him. And this comes from a trauma, either because you had an emotionally unavailable parent, or maybe the relationship between your parents was like that. It doesn't matter. The point is, you feel like you need to work for love. You feel like you don't deserve to be loved just as you are. You feel like you're not good enough. You are not validating yourself internally. So you're looking for that external validation from someone else. And you think that if you go for this person that you feel more chemistry with, because they don't like you, because they trigger your childhood trauma actually. If you go for the person that doesn't really like you, or is emotionally unavailable, or is giving you mixed signals, right? And you make them like you, that will validate you. That will finally make you feel like you are good enough. Anyone that has been through this, you know, like chasing after someone that doesn't want them and then catching them, realize this very shortly after they catch the other person or seduce them or whatever, that they lose interest. They don't like them anymore. Most of the times, these two people aren't compatible. They don't share the same values. They don't really love each other. The relationship will fall into pieces very quickly and will usually be very toxic. So please realize that the reason you're going for emotionally unavailable people is because you have some issues that you need to work on. It's because you're looking for validation from someone else. You're looking for love from someone else. They usually are a representation for your dad or your mom from your childhood that didn't give you the love you needed and deserved. And you need to work on that yourself. You need to give that validation to yourself. You need to give that love to yourself. You can't be chasing someone else to give you that, because even if you get it, you will lose interest right away and the relationship won't work, and you'll just go to the next person to chase for validation and love, and it's never going to fulfill you. Trust me, been there, done that, is never going to fulfill you. What you actually need to do is you need to start going for people that are not your type. You need to start going for people that are like the first type of person, the good guy or the good girl that is giving you love and validation, and that at first might seem off and it just doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel like there's much chemistry because they don't trigger your childhood traumas, so they don't trigger as much anxiety and butterflies, what people like to call them. But that's actually a really good sign. It's a really good sign when you don't feel all of that anxiety and like you're not safe in the relationship. So one, work on yourself and validate yourself, give yourself love instead of chasing after it. And two, go for a different type of person. Don't go for the emotionally unavailable person, go for the emotionally available person. Okay. The third dating mistake that a lot of people make is they go for looks. They go for charisma. They go for the external aura and appearance that a person is portraying. I used to do this a lot when I was younger. You know, I used to go for, the guy that all the girls wanted, or the popular one, or, you know, the guy that was hot or was charismatic and knew how to talk sweet nothings, going back to the first point. And so many girls and guys do this mistake when they're young. And hopefully, after a few experiences, you start to mature and realize that okay, looks definitely aren't everything, and charisma is not necessarily a green flag most of the times. Charisma is actually a trait of a person that is very seductive, and a person that is very seductive will usually want to be seductive not only with you but other people as well, and they're looking for validation, so you won't be the only one in their life. And yeah, it's usually better to not go for this kind of people. So go for the good girl, go for the good guy instead. This is the advice I would give you when you actually are looking for something serious and something long-term instead of like a short fling or a short love romance with a lot of chemistry. If you're looking for that, sure, go for the handsome or attractive woman that is charismatic and seductive and that really, kind of draws you in and is really magnetic. But if you want something long-term, you need to start looking for qualities that are actually important. And these qualities are the following. They make you feel safe in the relationship. They make you feel safe. This is the first one. Like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, safety is the first need, and you need that in your relationship as well. If you feel like they might leave you at any moment, or they're not reliable, like you can't count on them, or they're going to cheat on you, or whatever thing like this, then the relationship is never gonna work out. Safety is the base of anything, any kind of relationship. Even if you go to work, safety is the most important layer of any relationship, a work relationship, a friendship, and especially a romantic relationship. You need to feel safe in the relationship. The second is reliability, consistency, how kind of a person, how big is their heart, how altruistic are they, how generous are they, are they helpful, are they showing effort, are they treating you well, are they, being kind to you and other people and animals and elderly people. This is the kind of stuff you need to look for. Are they a good long-term partner? Are they stable enough, to make a family, like to build a family in the future? Do they show that you can count on them? Do they respect their own words? These are the things that you need to look out for. not how attractive they are and not how magnetic or seductive or charismatic they are. These are really short-term things. And even if you're not so attracted like physically to the other person, to the good person at first, attraction does grow in time. Because a lot of people will say, but I can't be with them if I'm not attracted to them. First of all, you need to have a certain degree of attraction, okay? So maybe it's not gonna be a 10 out of 10 degree of attraction, maybe it will be a 6 or a 7, okay? But just so you know, attraction does grow in time. I have a friend that has recently gotten into a relationship, and she really didn't like this guy at first. She was really unsure. She was like, yeah, he's a great guy, but I don't really know. I think I'm gonna friend zone him. I don't really like him. And I told her, don't do anything stupid. This guy really likes you. He's a really good guy. You have matching values. Please just wait. Just give it a little bit of time. And she waited, and now I'm telling you, she is obsessed with him. She can't like get her hands off him. She wants to spend all of her time with him and so on, because the attraction grew in time. And yes, at the beginning he didn't match like the usual pattern of unavailable guys that she was attracting. He was different. He was actually available and there, so the attraction wasn't there at the beginning, but it grew in time, and now it's really big and strong. And when you have that base of safety, it feels so much better. So stop going for looks, start going for the important qualities, things that are actually valuable. Good. The fourth dating mistake that a lot of people make is feeding on drama. So a lot of people are actually addicted to drama, especially if you've had a dramatic childhood, a chaotic childhood. Maybe you come from a family where your parents divorced, or your parents used to fight all the time, and there was always like chaos and drama and screaming in your childhood. You will naturally, unfortunately, be drawn into people that will give you the same thing. You will need drama to a certain degree, because this is how you grew up and this is what you associated with a relationship. You're like, this is what's normal in a relationship, like drama. You even get addicted to drama, because you grew up with it, and that's what you associated with love and relationships and what things are supposed to be like. And a lot of people will, first of all, attract people that, from the beginning when that person is gonna be dramatic and there's gonna be a lot of drama. Maybe you'd go for someone emotionally unavailable, from the start there's gonna be a lot of drama. Or even when you go for a safe, calm, stable person that is non-dramatic, you will cause the drama. You will bring up fights, you will start fights, you will do whatever, because unconsciously you need that drama. You're feeding on that drama. And a lot of people will create drama out of nothing in safe, stable relationships. And it's normal if you do this. It's normal if this is your background, if this is your childhood background, but you need to become aware of it. And a tip that I can give you is move that drama out of your relationship into another area of your life. I know you need it. I know you're feeding off it, but until we get rid of that problem, try to move it out of your relationship in another area of your life that doesn't affect you as much. So, for instance, I know someone that watches reality TV, like Love Island, Too Hot to Handle, just really dramatic reality TV shows, or reads really dramatic books to feed that part of them that needs the drama. So instead of them bringing the drama in the relationship, they are consuming it in other ways, like through TV or reading dramatic books and so on. And it can actually be a really good technique. So try taking it out, or, you know, just like the adrenaline that you need to feel in relationships because you grew up with a lot of adrenaline in your childhood. Try to take it out of your relationship. I don't know, go shooting or to a go-karting, like range shooting. I don't mean shooting on the street. I mean like, you know, like an institution that gives you really clear instructions on how to use those things. I don't want to encourage anything bad. So try to take that adrenaline and drama out of your relationship and put it in other areas of your life. Even if you want to put it, let's say, in a friendship or a job, not ideal, but it's better than putting it in your relationship if you feel like you really need it. Okay, and the last and fifth dating mistake that a lot of people make, especially nowadays with dating apps, is that, first of all, they're always looking for something better and they're always looking for the greener pasture. And second, they have a really, really inflated ego about themselves. I think it's a trend on social media. I'm not sure where it came from, but I see so many people claiming they're goddesses and gods, that they're this baddie or this whatever, woman or man that no one deserves. So this inflated ego usually comes from a lot of insecurity, and usually when you're really insecure and you're on one extreme, you will swing on the other extreme, which is like being extremely like narcissistic and like huge ego and God's complex and all of that. But it's still insecurity. It's just like the other extreme of it, basically. It's not healthy, and it's not actually confidence. What's healthy is, you know, being like in the middle. It's like, yeah, I'm confident about myself and I have really good qualities, but I also have a bunch of flaws, because I'm human and every human has them. And this is actually essential to understand, because a lot of people, you know, either because of the social media trends, but there's also something else. A lot of people grow up with parents that tell them they're the best, no one deserves them, they're perfect, and so on. Like, you know, for instance, as a girl, maybe your dad is like, yes, like no boy deserves you, you're the most wonderful girl, you're amazing, you deserve to marry like a prince, whatever. Or as a boy, you know, maybe your mom is like, oh, my little baby, no girl deserves you, you're perfect, only choose a girl that is perfect as well, whatever, something among those lines. And this is actually extremely toxic and unhealthy and unproductive for you, not for the other person. Here we're only talking about you. Because when you have this huge inflated ego and you think you're the best and you think no one deserves you and you think you're better than everyone else, it's actually quite lonely, because no one can match up and raise to your expectations ever, and you're constantly being disappointed. The problem is that you don't realize you yourself are far from perfect. You yourself have a lot of flaws. Maybe your communication is really bad. Maybe you are not empathetic in your relationship. You know, maybe you are really anxious. Maybe you throw tantrums. Maybe you're moody. Maybe, I don't know, like you have flaws like any other human being. But the important thing, maybe you're not as reliable as you think, you know, maybe you are clumsy, maybe, you know, you're not the ideal man or the ideal woman that you think you are. But that's a good thing. listen up, that's a good thing. I'm not trying to punch your ego, but it's important that you recognize these flaws and you kind of lower your unrealistic expectations about what you deserve. Because you'll never find someone if you have this mindset. You have to realize, okay, I have qualities and I have flaws. And I'm going to go for someone that has qualities and has flaws. And the reason I'm stating this in the 5th point, and I say it's a huge dating mistake that a lot of people make, is because I actually know a lot of people that go on hundreds and hundreds of dates. They go on so many dates and they always come back and say they were not good enough. Oh, they were not pretty enough. Oh, they were not interesting enough. They were not whatever. Their job wasn't amazing. Whatever. They always relate to these stupid little things and traits that in a real long-term relationship you don't care about, you know? They give me the ick because they like cartoons or comic cons or whatever, you know, like they're a geek. Or they give me the ick because they said something. And you know, like people will, because of this mindset that there are so many fish in the sea, and because of dating apps and you have this illusion of unlimited choice, people will dismiss really good potential partners because of really stupid things. Oh, they made me split the bill at the first date. They're horrible. They don't realize, you know, maybe that it's not gonna be like that in a relationship, or maybe it's just like that now because they're not really financially secure, whatever, you know. Like people will assume a lot of things about a person from the first date, and they won't even like try to go on a second, third date with that person. And this is my advice to you, is like, first of all, realize you're not perfect yourself. Like, I actually encourage you to make a list of all of your flaws in a relationship and all of your qualities, and realize and have a balanced view of how you are actually in a relationship. And when you go on a date and it's not perfect, obviously if it's horrible, don't go on a second date. But if there's even a little bit of something there, if there's any potential, please just go on a second, third date and just see how it goes, because it might surprise you. And so many healthy relationships that I've personally seen start off like this. First date, the girl is not impressed, or the first 3 dates, the boy is not impressed with the girl. But in time, they grow on them. They grow on you, and you realize you made the best choice ever to give yourself a chance to get to know this person. All right, so these are the 5 biggest dating mistakes that a lot of people make, that I made them myself when I was dating, and a lot of people that I know made them. And I hope that this video helped you realize some things that you may be doing, sorry, and maybe change them if you're doing them, because you deserve a healthy relationship. All right, so I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions or any suggestions for my next videos, please write them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. I know it was really long. I think this is my longest video until now, but I hope the information was useful and valuable to you. Lots of love and have a wonderful week. Bye.